Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, then welcome. My name is Christina, and today I thought that we would sit down and play with some of these brand new makeup launches. I did get a bunch of stuff sent to me in PR, as well as some stuff that I purchased, and I just wanted to sit down, hang out with you guys, and just have some unfiltered first impressions on all of these products. So if you're interested, then let's get started. I'm usually a little bit more structured than this. I apologize if this video is kind of like all over the place, but I don't know, I was just feeling like I wanted to sit down and just do it now because I feel like we're going to start seeing an influx and then things are just going to get too overwhelming. Using this Kulfi primer, I'm still kind of getting my thoughts together on this one. To be honest, I haven't really used it quite as much as I feel like I should have by now, but that is okay. So far, I've noticed it's very nice and hydrating. I am still kind of like looking into the pore filling aspect of it, like the blurring aspect of it, but I do like it to prime the skin as like a hydrating moisturizer. I just cleansed my face and I didn't put any moisturizer on afterwards, so this is acting as my moisturizer and my primer. So Milani actually sent this really cute PR package. You guys have probably seen a lot of people post this. I already pretty much took the products out. They had the autumn lip oils in here. I will insert some video that I took when I first opened this up. Milani always has the cutest packages. I always end up keeping them, honestly. But I do have some of their brand new brow mousses here that I wanted to test out today. So my initial thought is the brown black because that's what I use in eyebrow pencils, but I kind of feel like when it comes to tinted brow gel products, if I use what I use for brow pencils, it just all looks way too dark. So I'm thinking maybe the dark brown will be better than the brown black. Hopefully, we'll see. What I'm gonna do first though, and I don't normally do this, but with tinted brow gels, I feel like it kind of helps with the messiness. I'm going to shape my brow initially, and then I'm going to go in with the brow gel. Usually I do brow gel and then shape it, but we're just going to do a rough shape. I'm using this Maybelline Express brow pencil. This one is in the shade Black Brown, and I was really hoping that this would be similar to the Kosas Brow Pop Nano, but the tip is not nearly as small, which is unfortunate. I'm still on the hunt for an exact dupe of the Kosas Brow Pop Nano. Someone in the comments actually told me to check out the Sephora retractable eyebrow pencil, and I did. I went to the store and I put it in my basket. I was like physically swatching them and stuff, but I compared it to the Kosas one in the store and it wasn't as small, it wasn't as tiny, so I put it back because I already knew I wasn't going to love it the same. I've been trying to round out my brows. I really hate this like triangle thing that I have going on. From what I have seen recently, I don't know how I didn't recognize this sooner. It seems that a lot of Asian people do have more of that triangle brow, and I saw someone actually post a TikTok and she got her brows mapped and then like waxed and stuff so it was more rounded and curved, and I was like, wait a second, that looks beautiful. So I've been kind of obsessing over rounding out my brows to kind of see if that's something I want to do. Okay, I think I'm just gonna leave it at this. I don't want to go overboard and then do too much with the brow mousse too. So like I said, dark brown. And I think, oh, I can't get it open because my hands are slippery. Okay, pretty small spoolie. I like that so far. I love a small spoolie, especially when it comes to a tinted brow gel. It looks drier, which makes sense because it's a mousse. Let's just brush this through the brows and see what happens. I'm actually gonna back comb it and then comb it into place. Okay. So it doesn't seem like it's filling my brows as much as something like the Milk Tint one, but that has fibers in it. So that one I think is just going to be more filling anyways. This one I actually feel like I have more control with because it's more moussey versus being very liquid. It's not as messy either, which is cool. Oops, I got some right there. Oh yeah, it comes off pretty easily. I think this one looks pretty intense. Brows always look so intense before you do any other makeup though, so hopefully this balances out. But it looks good. I don't think it got extremely messy. And my brows didn't get clumpy, like my hairs didn't start sticking together. It feels soft. It has slight hold, a little bit of waxy hold, but it still feels quite soft. My lips feel very dry, so I want to use this one. This is the Persona Peptide Lip Balm, and they actually reformulated and re-released these. If you guys are familiar, the old packaging was yellow, but now they have packaging that matches the shades that they are. This is in the shade Bubble, and I'm just going to use this to prep my lips. The reformulation feels thicker than the original one. Honestly, I liked the original ones. I thought they were really nice lip balms, and I liked the tints to them too. But this one, without a doubt, feels thicker, which in turn feels like it's going to be more hydrating on the lips. Not too thick. It feels thicker than Summer Fridays, but thinner than Ulla Henriksen, right there in the middle. I would say a little thinner than like the Edam Le Chou Chou lip balms as well. I like it so far though. I did try this the other day, and so far so good. Urban Decay sent me one of their brand new palettes. This is the Cool Tone palette, and first of all, you guys, this packaging, this iridescence to it, like this pink iridescence, it's beautiful. And then you're supposed to just slide that up, and then you have the shades there. There's no mirror or anything here, just FYI, which I don't really mind. I don't usually use the mirror in a palette. But the layout of this, there's creams here in the center, and then you have some mattes, and then you have glimmers and shimmers on these sides right here. We're gonna try it out because I want to see what the formula is like. So I'm going to prime the eyes with an eye primer. I'm testing out this Milk Makeup one that they also sent me. This is like a whole PR thing right now. Sorry, I do want to test out new makeup, and I get really excited whenever brands send it because then I can test more, because there's just no way that I personally could afford buying all of this stuff on my own. So I'm extremely, extremely grateful. And I feel like it is quite helpful. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but I do feel like it's quite helpful whenever I can talk about more products with you guys. I think I want to dip into a little bit of everything. I mean, that makes the most sense to me. Gosh, I really want to use this color right here in the corner. This reminds me of the Armani liquid shadow in Cashew. I also want to use the creams. Okay, let's touch some of these, shall we? So we can get an idea. So I'm going to touch one of the creams. Pretty creamy. I would say that it's a little bit more solid. It doesn't feel oily or anything. There's that shade. And then let's do a matte. This matte I really want to use. Very buttery. That feels nice. Okay. Those are those shades so far. Let's do a shimmer here. Not as buttery as the mattes. Looks a little lackluster, I will say. But I do want to touch this glimmer right here. This looks like it's going to be more of a topper. Kind of feels like they're moon dust shadows a little bit. A little creamier than that, actually. Let's swatch this on the back of the hand. Ooh, the matte is a little, It looks like it's a little creamy, which is making it look a little patchy, which is interesting. And then we have that shimmer, and then we have the glitter. Oh, the shimmer looks better swatched out. On the finger, it did not look interesting enough to me whatsoever, but this looks pretty good. I like that glitter, how frosty it is. Ooh, okay. I will use this like bone colored shade right here for the creams to prime the eyes, even though I primed the eyes already. That's called Faux Snow, so I'm gonna use that first. Oh, that's good pigment. These shades on me, always chalky. It looks like it would be more on the cream side, but on my complexion, I mean, it's almost white. Let me do it with my finger. I love that milk primer because it makes my eyelids feel really like smooth and silky. Now we're gonna go in with Cold Foam, which is that matte right there in the corner. Where is the pigment? What do you guys think of the Urban Decay drama, like how they're moving with their new marketing and their reimagined products? Are you guys interested? Are you turned off? If you're not familiar, I will link a video down below that I find is really, really helpful. It kind of explains everything, but basically Urban Decay wanted to revamp their whole line, and they're talking about less boring makeup, more innovation, all these things, which is great. I mean, I'm all for that, but I will say this doesn't feel revolutionary to me. Their setting sprays, that whole situation with Scandinavia, how they kind of pulled the rug from under them, that was not handled very well, in my opinion. And I feel like people were kind of building on that too, and they were like, so yeah, we're still waiting for you guys to not be boring. Like I saw comments like that, and I was okay, so I kind of had to build this up more than I anticipated. I don't hate that, but again, I was kind of expecting it to be way, way, way more pigmented than it was at first go. But we got there and it looks good, and I actually appreciate the fact that I could kind of build it where I wanted to. I'm actually going to take that shimmer with my finger. I usually do that. I feel like it's just more intense that way, but press it on. Huh. I mean, it is shimmery, but it doesn't look like it has that much of a pigmented base to it. It almost looks like a transparent shimmer here versus what it looks like in the pan, which is really interesting. It could be because it's on a lighter base. I'm not crazy about that. I will say that when it comes to shimmers, if they're not super shimmery, I usually don't get excited about them anyways. MAC Fix Plus, and then I'm gonna grab more of a dense brush, and then let's apply it that way. See if we could get kind of like a foil finish. Okay, got it on the brush. Okay, that's better. That's more of what I wanted it to be for sure. I kind of feel like the Urban Decay eyeshadow sticks are more intense than these. At least the shimmers, you know? Okay, we got there, just with an extra step. It is quite subtle, which I love, but I feel like for how they're marketing these palettes and how their target audience will react, I feel like maybe it won't be received well. I'm a bit confused. You have to really, really pack this on. Like, I'm really digging into that eyeshadow, you guys. I didn't re-wet my brush, by the way. It's pretty much dry at this point. By the way, that was the shade Pacific Breeze. I'm gonna go in right next to it to Ice Drip, which is more of like this champagne-y pink, just in the inner corner. Did that do anything? Okay, you really have to dig into these shimmer shades, you guys. I mean, I think it looks really pretty. What do you think? Do you like it? Okay, let's do a little wing with it, shall we? I'm gonna go into this cream, this brown cream, to build our liner, and then I'm gonna go in on top of it with a powder to kind of smoke it out. I'm just gonna take that shade right next to it. What is that? Cuffing? Ooh, I love this cool toned winged liner situation right now. That's pretty. Oh, I love that like soft brown that I have going on. How pretty is that? Yeah. Uh-oh, the brows are falling. Okay, we'll go back to that to do the lower lash line later, but let's move on to complexion. So I've got a couple of complexion products. So this one is the new Lip Tinted Huestick complexion sticks, and they're basically foundation sticks. I have the shade 12 and 13 because I couldn't decide. I think maybe I am 12, but in a YouTube short that I recently posted, I did use 13 all over my face. I thought it worked pretty well, but it was a little, like a touch too olive for me, so I do think I might be 12. I like these. I really, really like it. It's very creamy when you're applying it, and then as you're blending it in, it turns into more of a soft matte, but it's not too silicone-y. Like the Milani one, whenever you're blending that out, it almost becomes too powdery and too matte, and I can't get a good blend out of those, but this one stays kind of creamy, and it sets down more as a soft matte, slightly powdery. Really beautiful. It gives me a lot of coverage. I would say that this is a high medium coverage, and when I wore it for, I think it was 7 hours or so, and it lasted really well. I did get pretty oily though, but the day I wore it, we went to Korean barbecue and I sat in front of the grill, you guys. So you know, I had that steam coming up right in front of me, so I was sweating. So I think I needed to test this not in front of a Korean barbecue grill. But in today's video, I really wanted to try the reformulated, we're doing a lot of reformulated stuff, I guess, the Sephora Collection Best Skin Ever Foundation and Concealer. Now, I don't remember how I felt about the concealer, but I do remember the original foundation. I was not a big fan of. I felt like it was a bit drying on my skin, even though I have oily skin. Now again, my preference in foundation I think has changed quite a bit. I will say that I much prefer a matte finish now more than I did before. So we are gonna see. I have the shade 21O, again with the olive, but when I swatched them all in the stores, I think that one was the best match for me. And then I got 12N in the concealer shade. This is 12N Light. I really hope I like these. It says 16-hour wear, natural finish, but I feel like they're going to be more on the matte side. So I'm going to go in with a damp sponge to apply it versus a brush. Wait, I already used a primer. I wanted to use one of these. Okay, you guys, Huda Beauty sent this mini makeup bag and it has a ton of minis in it. I already took them out of the boxes because I couldn't wait. Look at this. Look at this. Mini setting spray. We have a mini mirror right here. Oh my gosh. It came with, oh, you guys are gonna die. You're gonna die. Look, mini triangle puffs. So cute, so cute. And then I have the primer. They sent the original primer and the bronze fudge primer. Mini blush filters. You guys know I really like the blush filters. Oh my gosh, the little mini hair clips. Are you kidding? So cute, which is so interesting because someone recently in a video of mine had said that they mainly buy mini or travel size things now. And I was like, I wish I could do that. But sometimes, you know, products that are new don't come in minis or travel sizes right away. So I kind of have to buy the full sizes. But when I got this, I was so excited. Oh, and then a mini peach pie. It's a marketing thing, I'm sure. Oh my gosh, look, the mini easy blur. I die. I also got a concealer, but what I was gonna pull out of here was the primer, and I have a mini color corrector. Oh my gosh, in the shade peach. So let's use some of these. I think it'll be fun. I already used a primer, but I want to use this too. I'm just gonna use this in my T-zone, I think. I feel like this video is so chaotic. You guys are probably familiar. It's more of that silicone gel texture. I never bought this one. I just wasn't sure if I needed another primer, but I always heard that it's really, really nice. And I don't doubt it. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I kind of prefer this texture over like a grippy primer texture. Sometimes I get scared with grippy primers that my makeup's gonna go on patchy, even though it never does. I don't know, maybe it's in my head. That feels nice. You guys, my lips are flaking. I don't know what I did, but they're so flaky right now. Okay. Let's go in with a little color corrector. I just want to go in a little bit to my dark areas. Oh, I really appreciate that it's still a bigger doe foot. Makes it a lot easier to apply. Just gonna do it more on the inside right there where that hollow is. Oh, you can also buy all of this mini makeup, by the way, if you wanted to, from Huda Beauty. It's on Sephora's website. I was kind of surprised though how much it cost. I mean, it is cheaper, don't get me wrong. It's gonna be cheaper than the full size. And I know a lot of people had said that they also buy the mini and travel size makeup. So maybe it makes sense to have everything in a mini size. I don't know. Let's do the foundation. There it is. And I think I want to spread this on the face before I blend it in. It has a little bit of a scent to it. Not an added fragrance. It kind of smells a little like, I don't know, just foundation. Kind of stinky foundation. Now, I don't know how everyone felt about this foundation. I guess enough people had enough feedback to where they felt like they needed to reformulate though. Dang, it looks a little green. I'm not olive. I don't think I'm olive, but all of the shades near this color were way, way, way too light. Man, I swatched so many of the shades and I went back and forth and I let it dry too. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to switch this out if I like it. That stinks. Okay, finish. It is more on the matte side, I'm gonna say that. I can tell that it's drying down more matte, which for me usually means longer wear. I promise you guys, this looked like it worked better in the store. And I went in the front of the store and I got in front of the window and everything. Gosh, what a bummer. It's okay. It happens. More often than not for me. The coverage is really good though. It's pretty high coverage. I can still see my freckles, which is totally normal, but a lot of my acne scars are covered well. I only went in with a little bit. While it's still creamy, it feels thin, which is really nice. From what I remember, the original one felt very thick and creamy. I think that this one feels lighter. Now, if I were applying this with a brush, I think it would be too much. Like, I'm pretty sure that it would look heavy on me. So I think a sponge is the way to go here. Really nice. Really nice. Hopefully the concealer works better, huh? So again, this is 12N and it's much lighter. I swatched a bunch of these too, so I really hope this works better. Maybe it'll kind of balance it out. Oh, that feels very thin. Maybe I should figure out if this dries fast before I put it all over my face. So I don't film late at night. I can't think. Okay, all right, I'll just blend that in. That's a good color, I think. You guys are probably screaming at me like, girl, you should know this by now. I know. Well, that blended out quite easily. It looks a little bit dry right there in the center of my face. Let's blend under the eyes. I think I do like this color. It looks a little heavy on my pores, like right in my T-zone, but it's still blending well. Like it's still not patchy. I think the coverage is really nice. I would call this a matte concealer as well. As I'm blending it, it's mattifying. I'm gonna tap everything with my sponge. So it looks like it has, I almost want to say it has high coverage. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to have, but on me it's quite, I mean, that's pretty good coverage, no? But I will say that I'm a little bit nervous about how this will wear throughout the day, because where I get oily is right here, and that's where I feel like it's kind of clinging. Let me get up close so you guys can see. So I don't know, I feel like that might get overemphasized throughout the day. I'm not sure, you guys tell me. Could it be that Huda primer? It could be. I'm gonna try all these things with different products, of course, which is why I feel like it's always so important to come back and give you guys like my final thoughts, more of a thorough review versus a first impression, because it kind of wraps everything up and it allows you to know how things work together, how they don't work together. I think it's giving me pretty good coverage. I'm gonna use it to sculpt that area just a little bit. I wonder if I would like this more with more of a dewy foundation or skin tint type of thing to kind of help mattify it a little bit. I think that would be really nice. I'm gonna try that next time. So you're supposed to be able to use this palette on your face, by the way. Did I mention that? It's a multitasking palette. I think maybe that color I can use to contour. Let's try it. See, I'm questioning it only because this didn't feel super creamy when we used it earlier. Yeah, that's kind of dry. Well, it's not terrible, but I'm also really scared of this because I feel like it's going to drag all of that foundation away and take away that coverage, because it's not going to be a super buttery cream. This feels like a very solid, slightly drier cream. It makes sense to me to have it as like an eyeshadow base, not necessarily a face contour though. I will say it's a good color, but she's kind of dragging. Well, it's not even showing up on my forehead. Hello? Knock knock. Where is it? Oh, let's use the darker brown. I don't know what happened. It's not working. Okay, I give up. I give up on that. Let's just move on, okay? All right, did a little bronzer, put some mascara on, and here's what I will say. This foundation set down so well. I felt like I only needed to do a light dusting of my powder. I just used my L'Oreal Blurfection powder and I dusted it. I didn't bake or anything because the skin already kind of looked like it was set. Like the foundation looked like it was already starting to set down on the face, which looks really nice. And then when I set it down with that powder, it blurred those pores that I was concerned about. The finish is beautiful. I think maybe it might wear well throughout the day. Well, if I was wearing this throughout the day, it's past midnight at this point. I think this might actually wear really nicely if you're oily, but of course, like I said, I'm gonna let you guys know. But let's move on to some blushes. I got two very, very exciting blushes, actually three, two of the same different color. So I got some of the Ciele Flush and Protect blushes. I have the shade Crush and Cozy. I went for the peach shade and then more of the nude beige shade, of course. I really want to get my hands on the shade Ruddy, but I told myself I need to figure out if I like these first before I go and buy three of them. I was already pushing it buying two, to be quite honest with you guys, but I couldn't help myself. So this is what it looks like. The packaging is cute, but I will say it doesn't scream Ciele to me. It looks like a different brand to me, which isn't bad. Like it is nice, but it's not giving the luxe of Ciele. This is the shade Cozy, and then this is the shade Crush. So beautiful, both of them, so beautiful. They look like they have a little bit of a sheen to them, which I am here for. I love a good sheen. I hate a flat matte. I don't think it looks good on the skin, or at least my skin. So here is Cozy. Hello? Right there on the wrist is Cozy. And then here is Crush. Okay, they're a bit more light than I anticipated. Actually, Cozy was kind of what I was thinking. I was like, it's either going to work for me or it's just not going to show up. I feel like Cozy kind of works more with this cool toned eyeshadow look, but I also got the Monica Mob collab. I got the cream blush, the lipstick, and the lip liner. She came out with a wedding collab with Mob Beauty, and I had to try it out because I have been watching her series about trying to find the perfect red lip since she started, and I was invested. So when I saw that she collaborated with Mob Beauty, I was so excited for her. I think that's such a beautiful collaboration. And the shade in the lipstick is Redemption, which is gorgeous. On me, I think it's going to be a deep kind of Bordeaux maroony thing. And then this is Crimson Crush M189. That's the cream blush. And when I swatched these earlier, you guys, they definitely like stain my skin, which was really interesting. And then the lip liner is in the shade Why Not. I will insert my swatches here for you guys so you can see it. But congratulations to Monica. That's super exciting. So I'm just going to go in with, again, Cozy. Oh, and by the way, they do put the expiration dates on the back here. How incredible is that? I think it may be because these do have SPF in them, and I'm pretty sure that is a requirement. These are SPF 45, by the way. That's just an added bonus for me. I mean, Ciele's whole brand, they do SPF makeup. That's what they created, all SPF makeup, so it makes sense that this also has SPF. So I'm just gonna load this on. This is just an e.l.f. highlighting brush. I've been loving this for blush recently, but we're just going to stamp that on. Oh no. I mean, I see it, but I think it's going to be too light for me, you guys. It's definitely a nudie beige shade for sure. I think if you are a little bit lighter in complexion to me, this would be a beautiful nude beige shade. But on me, I think it's just so subtle. I mean, it is gorgeous, don't get me wrong, but it's just not giving me that pop that I want. Let's just go in with Crush and see what happens here. Let's see if the pigmentation is more. I'm gonna take the other side of the brush. All right, that one is definitely more pigmented on my skin tone, but it's still very subtle. So if you were more on the tan side, I think that this might be a bit too light on you as well. They're not super saturated. I feel like these blushes are very muted, like muted tones, which could be really beautiful if that's what you're into. I mean, I think this is really nice, but it's definitely going to be more on the subtle side for sure. They're applying really well, and I feel like my cheeks are looking really satiny, don't they? Probably because I have like 10 layers of blush on at this point. A blush topper maybe, like this would be a really nice blush topper. Maybe I should look into more of the brighter shades, and then I'll get back to you guys. I actually really like Crush. I think Crush is really pretty for more of a subtle peach shade here. Crush, yes. Cozy, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna work for my complexion, you guys. All right, so now we just have some lip products that I wanna talk about with you guys. So we have two fun collections. Maybelline came out with these honeyed lifter glosses. They have 5 shades here, and they all smell like honey with a hint of like vanilla to me. They all smell the same, and they're beautiful. I did some swatches on these, and first of all, I love the lifter gloss formulation. I think that they are some of the absolute best glosses at the drugstore, if not in general. I think they're really, really beautiful. I love the pigmentation of them. They're more on the sheer side, but you can definitely tell the differences with them, and I love pairing them with lip liners and coming up with different lip looks, and I really like putting these on top of lipsticks as well. They are just so versatile and they're so fun. Packaging is definitely bulky, but it's kind of like, we all know what a lifter gloss is when we see one, you know what I mean? Out of this whole collection, I really like the shade Toffee actually, surprisingly. This one is kind of like a My Lips but better shade, and then with a deeper lip liner, it just gives me a a really nice subtle look. And then the shade Toast, really beautiful, a little bit more on the cool side, but it's super wearable as well. I love them. They are so good. I'm so excited to have these, and they really are fall colors, you know, like they really came out with beautiful fall shades. I'm surprised there's not like more of a wine shade, but I guess that doesn't really fall into the theme of honey, but so pretty, so pretty. And then Milani is coming out with some autumn fruit fetish lip oils. These came in that little house PR package that I showed you guys earlier. Really beautiful. Again, I did some swatches on these too. I think my favorites are going to be pumpkin spice because it's a little bit on the nude side, but it's slightly warmer and it's not like a full on orange, you know, it's very, very wearable. And I really like the shade Hot Cocoa. And these all smell different, by the way. They smell like their respective names. So Hot Cocoa smells like chocolate, mulled wine smells a little bit like berries, and pumpkin spice smells like cinnamon, pumpkin, and then you have candy apple, and this one smells like a green apple to me. It smells so good. I love that. And you guys know historically, I'm not a big fan of the Milani Fruit Fetish lip oil scents. I don't gravitate towards them because I'm not a huge fan of the scents. So I'm glad that they went with different scents with these. I'm really excited to like use these and incorporate them in looks. Oh, I also got to try the Milani lip liners. These are the Keep It Full plumping lip liners. They sent the whole collection, and these feel plumping. They actually feel like they have that little spicy tingle to them, very similar to the Too Faced plumping lip liners, but I feel like those are a little bit more aggressive than these are. These don't feel painful. I mean, you can definitely feel them. They're slightly itchy on the lips, but I wasn't dying to take them off. And then when I did wipe everything away, I could tell that my lips were a little bit irritated, a little swollen, which is what plumpers naturally are going to do. So they definitely work. I will say that. You could probably put this all over your lips. They are quite creamy for a lip liner, but they do dry down. So they apply, I want to say, like the Fenty lip liners, they apply very similarly to those, but they do tend to dry down. Not as hard as the Fenty ones or like the Maybelline liners, but they do dry down and they are really nice. I am quite excited though to try Monica's collection with Mob, so let's do that. So I'm going to use the lip liner in the shade Why Not. I'm just going to remove this lip balm that we have. My lips are so dry, like flaky. I need to exfoliate them. Please excuse that if you can see it. Let's just apply this. Ooh, you know, I actually don't have a lot of lip liners this shade in my collection. I don't necessarily go this deep. It's kind of a reddish brown tone, and I think it's pulling a little bit more brown on me, which I actually really like that. Okay, just kind of going in on the sides. Very pretty. And I think I want to dab this on just to see what it looks like more sheer on the lips before we really swipe it on. So I'm just going to, whoa, it's pigmented. Dab this. This is my first Mob lipstick too, by the way. Pretty. Oh, I love a blotted red look. Does it have a scent? It does. It has a very light scent to it. I just love a blotted red. I don't wear them often, but gosh, they are pretty. Wow, that's super pigmented. Oh my goodness. And it blots out beautifully. Like, look at that. It looks a little purpley red on me, but I love that it's still on the deeper side. When it comes to reds, I feel more comfortable wearing more of a deep, like blotted red. Oh, and I love a more matte red. I don't really like glossy reds. I don't think they look good on me, but this, oh my gosh, looks so pretty. It's kind of like a lip blush on me. Let's build it up. Let's really pack that thing on. Whoa. Oh my gosh, this is like a deep, deep red on me. I'm literally sitting here, I'm like, wow, color theory is wild, because I have seen this lipstick on so many people and it looks completely different on me, but it still looks so pretty on everyone. I don't understand, but I do understand, but I don't understand. Look how deep it is. Oh my goodness. I didn't expect it to be this like vampy on me, but this is so pretty. What do you guys think? Do you like it? It's been a long time since I've worn red lipstick, I will say. Feels so pretty. Okay, I took it off and I reapplied it blotted, you guys, because I was nervous. I got really nervous about it, but I think it looks really good as is right now. What do you guys think? Do you like this? Oh my gosh, I need to wear red lips more because this is really pretty. I actually wanted to try the Urban Decay setting spray. They sent me the new one, but this is the glow version, which I actually think might work pretty well with a more matte foundation. So I will try this, but again, I'm gonna take this face of makeup off like right after I'm done filming because it is time. It's past my bedtime actually. So I will get back to you guys about this setting spray and let you know how it wears. I already did use this one time, but I wasn't actively doing a wear test or anything like that. It seemed fine. And I will say that the mister compared to the old one, which I still have an old bottle of the all-nighter, the mist is finer. I will say that it feels very micro. In terms of the cooling effect, I didn't even know that the all-nighter had a cooling effect, or maybe I had forgotten, but I mean, it feels like a standard setting spray to me. I don't know, maybe I'm hyper aware of it now, so I was like noticing it more after the fact. It feels nice, like it just feels nice. So the real test is going to be if it wears well, if it wears better or if it just wears well. So stay tuned for that. Other than that, that was everything from this video. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, there's nothing that we tried on today that I am bursting with joy about. I am really disappointed about these. I thought that these were going to be like a home run for me. Now, I am going to try a different shade. I'm probably going to pick up a more saturated shade out of the collection. Maybe Ruddy was the way to go. Maybe I'll pick up that one. I'm excited to see how these wear. Now, again, I feel like this was really interesting because it felt like it was almost self-setting. I can't say for certain if that's the case. This combination looks way better once it's powdered down. I was really nervous about my pores right here, and of course the real test is going to be to see how this wears for a longer period of time. But right now I think that my skin looks really nice, and these have really great coverage. I can already say that my first impression of this new reformulation is way better than the original, because the original, I just remember trying to make it work and I just was not a huge fan of that. I'm really excited to try this concealer actually with, again, more of a dewy base, like a dewy skin tint or something like that, because I think it'll balance the skin out really well, and I think the coverage is very nice. You know what this reminded me of when I was blending it in? The Haus Labs concealer, because it's a little bit more on the dry side but with a lot of coverage as well, and it feels really thin. I think this one actually feels slightly thinner than the Haus Labs one, so we will see how this one wears. The Urban Decay palette, I gotta say, I wasn't super impressed. Like, there's nothing about it that is like, you must get this. And I think one of the standout products, to be honest, the Live Tinted foundations, I didn't even try it in this video, but based on the time that I did wear it, it wears so well, it applies well, it looks like it powders down really nicely. You probably don't even need powder if you're more on the dry side. Really like that. I am really excited about these Milani lip liners though. I think it's really nice to have a drugstore alternative for a lip plumping lip liner. I always thought that that was such a cool idea. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry that it was so chaotic. I felt like it was chaotic the whole time I was filming it, so I hope that you guys still enjoyed it. I hope that it was entertaining or educational or something for you. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching, you guys. And of course, if you liked this video, I would say please consider subscribing, because I would love to have you stick around. But until next time, you guys, I'm gonna leave a video right here that YouTube actually thinks you're gonna like, just based off of the things that you've been watching recently. And with that being said, I hope you guys take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!